ends up
This nigga, bro. I don't even want to watch. I don't even want to see this.
fumbling the ball. All I
What are
could
you
do was
doing,
continue
bro?
to shake my
What are
head.
you doing? So what it do, YouTube, man? I'm not want to waste time, so let's get straight into it. You feel me? Today we about to be reacting to the Bucks are risking it all for Giannis. What's that supposed to mean, man? Now, word around the town, Giannis might leave. If he do leave, I think he going to the Warriors, but I don't want Giannis to leave because it's like, bro, what the fuck are the Bucks gonna do? What the fuck? What they gonna trade? Well, who would the Warriors trade him for? Kuminga and motherfucking. Ooh, probably Podziemski and Kuminga. They ain't gonna trade Podziemski though, cause he a bucket. But no, let's see what they talking about.
We might have seen the last game from Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee, and if we did, the ending to this saga couldn't have been any more disappointing for Bucks fans. Even without Dame, who had torn his Achilles in the first quarter of
That hurt, man. That hurt, man. Cause it's like we should. If Dame didn't get injured, and Giannis, I guess he got injured too a little bit. Do y'all think the Bucks could have won the series, bro? Cause Milwaukee would have been shaking like downtown if we were still in the playoffs. But no, niggas had to lose. You know?
four, Giannis still had a chance to win it in regulation, but a timely double team by the Pacers forced him into a tough contested shot over two defenders. The shot would clank, and we would have OT. In OT, the Bucks would build a 7-point lead that they'd have with 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Nembhard would walk into a deep three as Giannis doesn't step up. Bottoms.
Oh my fucking
At this
God.
point, I started shaking my head, but I'm like, still, there's no way that they actually blow this. But in no time, the lead was down to just 1 point. With 17.1 seconds remaining, the Bucks would inbound the ball. All they would have to do is eat the foul, knock down their free throws, and play the foul game the rest of the way. Complete the foul game, and the series is 3-2 with the Bucks headed home with momentum. Easy.
Right.
Gary Trent, who had been playing the role of hero for this game, ends up
This nigga, bro. I don't even want to watch. I don't even want to see this.
fumbling the ball. All I
What are
could
you
do was
doing,
continue
bro?
to shake my
What are
head.
you doing?
On the other end, Halliburton scores the game-winning layup, and like that, the Bucks were headed home. Then there was the aftermath. Things got so heated
This
after the
nigga thought he was a motherfucking main character.
that Giannis ended up in a UFC-style stare-down with Tyrese Halliburton's
beat his
dad.
ass,
You heard me right. This was something that Tyrese Halliburton later apologized
his
for
ass.
after discovering that his dad actually sparked the altercation. What do you guys think was going through the mind
That
of
is
Giannis
wild,
here?
bro. That is wild. Dog, imagine losing. Imagine losing in a playoff game, like, and then a nigga just come up to you. Yeah, we got what? That's just
But
crazy,
it
man.
didn't even end there. One moment, Giannis and Ben Mathurin were hugging like everything was all good. And then the next, Giannis had Ben locked up, forcing teammates
First
to
of all,
all
Giannis,
good.
why you hold him
And
like
then
that?
the
Like you
next,
trying to kiss him or
Giannis
something?
had Ben locked up, forcing teammates to quickly step in and break them apart. This was an emotional night for Giannis, and understandably so. It could have very well been his last game as a Milwaukee Buck.
No, it's
And
not,
if it
bro.
was, then it's been quite the run for him
No, it's
and the
not, bro.
Bucks.
No, it's
In
not, bro.
2021, Giannis and the Bucks went on an unbelievable run en route to winning a championship. In 2022, they'd fall short in the Eastern Conference semis, and from 2023 onward, it's been nothing but early first-round exits. But honestly, how many teams would kill to experience even a single championship run led by their superstar? They're
The Warriors.
still
Giannis said, if you're going somewhere, go to the Warriors. But if you go to Phoenix, then we'll get KD.
teams in the
No,
NBA
that's
that
not happening. Giannis not going nowhere.
never tasted a championship. I promise you that every single one of those teams would have had no problem walking in the Milwaukee Bucks' shoes. But as worth it as that walk was, it's clear now that without some major changes, that the Bucks' future isn't exactly bright. But before we continue, if you are enjoying the content, then be sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss out on any of my uploads. Damian Lillard tearing his Achilles complicates everything for
No
the Milwaukee
bueno.
Bucks.
Giannis definitely about to leave. Oh my God, we ain't got a point guard. Oh my God. Damn, folks.
Dame tearing his Achilles wouldn't just change this team's chances of winning a championship this year,
We could have
but
just
it
kept
changes
Drew
them for
Holiday.
next year also. With the Dame, the timetable for this injury can range anywhere from 6 months to a year, with NBA athletes averaging around a 10-month recovery time. Does anybody else feel like Achilles injury?
Yeah, bitch ass.
Injuries are now way more prevalent than they ever were. You know
Yeah.
what?
Why is everybody tearing their Achilles?
It's probably just me. I tore my Achilles a few years ago, and ever since doing so, I've been hyper aware of how often that something like this happens. Torn Achilles gang, show yourself down in the comments below. We have to stick together, man. A lot of
That
people
should've
don't
hurt.
understand how hard it is to return from an injury like this. If Dame ends up missing around 10 months, and assuming that the Bucks don't significantly improve their roster, that would mean asking Giannis to carry a severely limited team with a little support for almost an entire season. But
Yeah, I just
what
have to
about
go.
the Bucks upgrading their roster and getting right back into the fight? The thing is that this team can only marginally upgrade their roster. They have little to no assets on their roster, and they don't even have a ton of picks to trade. The next first-round pick that the Bucks fully control is 6 years away. They don't
Damn.
control the destiny of their own first-round pick until 2031. In 2031,
Damn.
we might be living like the Jetsons for all I know. That
No
is
bullshit.
super far away. Sure, Giannis is capable of carrying a bad roster,
2031?
but is grinding all year.
How old am I gonna be? Hold on. It's 2025. So, 22 plus 6. I'm gonna be 28. Damn.
Just to sneak into the
I had to do that
playoffs
math
really
real
worth
quick.
it? And what if Giannis himself misses any time, which becomes more likely with the increased workload? The Bucks would instantly drop to lottery level, essentially wasting another prime year of his career. Giannis Antetokounmpo isn't in the
Yeah, Giannis, bro. Go to the Warriors. Yes, sir. Go who with
business
Curry.
of wasting
But Curry injured too. Damn. Where's Giannis gonna go?
years. Just last month, he said, "Me not having a second championship, I look back at my career and everybody can say, oh, incredible career, active Hall of Famer, first ballot, whatever. But me, my personal goal, if I am not able to help my team win a second ring, I'm letting myself down." This man is saying that if he doesn't win another championship, that he's letting himself down. Well, if he wants to have a shot at winning, he's forced to look places other than Milwaukee, while the Bucks should do what they can to fix this mess that they've gotten themselves into.
Damn, bro.
We've reached the point where these two parties separating would be in the best interest
All because y'all got greedy and grabbed motherfucking Damian Lillard, bro. We could have kept Drew Holiday, kept hooping.
of both parties. This is why earlier this month,
Matter of
Shams
fact, if y'all waited long enough, we could have got De'Aaron Fox. Damn.
the internet
Look
by
at that
announcing
De'Aaron
that for the
Fox.
first time in his career, that Giannis would be open-minded about exploring whether his best long-term fit was
But nah, that
remaining in
wouldn't work
Milwaukee
because that'd be we have
or
a team full of
playing
slashers.
elsewhere. Since Shams dropped this news on us, the Giannis saga has spiraled into absolute chaos. Windhorst mentioned that the Nets, Pelicans, Rockets, and Spurs are teams to monitor for a potential pursuit of Giannis. As Shams said that he thinks that every team in the NBA is going to be doing their due diligence on Giannis. Basically, everybody wants bro, but everybody can't get bro. Let's look at some potential destinations, not just based on who has interest,
Yeah, let me
but
see
based
some.
on some of the information that we know about Giannis and this entire saga.
Imagine.
So we already know that
Imagine Giannis goes to the Pacers. He ain't going to go to the
Giannis wants
Pacers.
to win.
They have to
He
trade
wants
Tiger.
to go to a good basketball situation, but what else? According to Shams, he wants to play with another top star who would take some of the burden off of him. Houston is one of those teams that doesn't have a whole bunch of star power, but regardless, the Rockets are still really freaking good. If Jalen Green was consistent, or the Rockets just had a reliable perimeter go-to scorer, then the Rockets could have won it all this year. If you replace Jalen Green with just Bradley Beal, I honestly think that the Rockets could have seriously won a championship this year. That's how good that I think that their team currently is.
Green,
But screw how good that I
talking
think
about how good they is. They just lost to the motherfucking Warriors. Fuck out of here, bro.
they are.
They
Just look at their
was balling in the regular season though.
their season record,
Yeah,
52 wins and 30 losses. And they were the second seed in a stacked conference. They were a dominant defense that just needed some shooting and more offense. Now, if the Bucks were to enter negotiations with the Rockets, it appears that the Rockets would now be open to moving who many have called Baby Jokic, Alperen Şengün. Trading away Şengün would leave Houston
We don't want no damn Şengün.
without their lone all-star this season. Sure, Amin Thompson has
Good
superstar
morning.
potential, but he's not.
Come here. Not you, bro, because the camera on. Hey, yo. Hi.
There quite yet. That means that the Rockets, despite being one of the rumored frontrunners for Giannis, might not have the star power that he's reportedly looking for. But you know who does have that star
That's what you're gonna
power?
be doing when you get older.
The Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have one of the biggest stars of all time in Steph Curry. Turns out that just like the rest of the world, that Giannis himself is a pretty big fan and good friend of Steph. Now hold on a minute. How big of a fan and how good of a friend are we talking? Well, Giannis recently did a Q&A on X, and in this Q&A, he
Steve, you always buy books, but I never see you reading. Paperweights. Hey, do you mind getting this? Because I only have euros.
My pleasure, because I earn unlimited 2% cash back.
We split that.
No.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Struggling to get started on your book? Meet Squibbler, the AI book writer that transforms your ideas into fully developed chapters. With pre-made templates for all.
He'd call Steph Magic or IT the greatest point guard of all time. He'd put Steph in his all-time starting five and list Steph and Kobe as the players that he likes to play with the most in 2K. The glazing was crazy. Every other answer you were seeing Steph's name. By the way, Giannis was also in San Francisco making some money and hyping up the crowd at a Google event. And check this out. Per Sam Amick, Giannis was the only non-Warriors player to attend Steph Curry's party in San Francisco during All-Star Weekend. Here's a little fun note
That boy about to go to the Warriors. I feel it in
that
my
was
bones.
included in that same report. Giannis and Steph are represented by the same agency. So the guy's a big Steph fan, and Steph and Giannis are good friends, so what? A lot of us are. What's the big deal? The big deal is that a Steph and Giannis pairing would break the NBA.
Oh my
This pairing
God.
would be so
Oh my dang, what?
much better than a Dame and Giannis pairing.
You think they gotta trade Draymond, bro? Bucks don't want no damn Draymond. Hold on, I'll let that.
Steph's unselfishness and ability to get the best out of everybody that he plays with. When Steph was playing with KD, defenses were so scared of Steph that KD was getting open layups and dunks. Also, according to Brian Windhorst, there's a pathway for Giannis to end up on the Warriors. As he said, the Warriors couldn't win any potential bidding war. But if Giannis looked at Steph,
Nigga, they got the same Asian. He always up. What? All that good
Golden
shit.
State and said that's where I want to be, then the Warriors could
Good
make
stuff, good
something
stuff.
work if the Milwaukee Bucks
Don't feel
wanted
bad.
to honor his wishes. Giannis is one of the greatest Bucks ever. He's the best modern Buck. He brought this city a championship. I don't think that it's too crazy that this
He
team
did.
could potentially do right by him as long as the offer is decent. But again, how decent of an offer could the Warriors actually make? Let's look. Sports Illustrated put together a trade package that included sending Draymond Green, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Pods, Golden State's unprotected first-round picks, and
Hey, y'all know Podziemski from here. Like, we played against him middle school and high school, but no, that is. Hey, I'm with that. The Bucks gonna be stacked. I'm with that.
27, 2029, and 2031.
I'm with that.
Pick swaps in 2026 and 2028. The Warriors would be sending this package out for essentially Giannis Antetokounmpo and filler. For the sake of beefing up this trade for the Bucks, let's swap out Moses Moody for Kuminga. What makes this deal interesting is that Jimmy Butler is 35 and Steph is 37. If Giannis goes to Golden State with this framework, it's hard to see him staying there past Steph's retirement, since he'd have no co-star and would be about 33 or 34 himself.
Right.
Which is something to think about if you're Giannis. All of a sudden, all of those picks and pick swaps become some of the best assets in basketball.
If he want a championship today, tomorrow, this year, not this year, but next year, he will go to the Warriors.
Remember when the Boston Celtics sold the Brooklyn Nets a dream, and then the Celtics used the profits from that dream to draft Jaylen Brown 3rd overall in 2016 and Jason Tatum 3rd overall in 2017?
Get the ball.
The Nets pick actually turned into the number 1 overall pick that year, but the Celtics pulled off another finesse using it to trade back and select Jason Tatum instead of staying at.
My baby's so smart. Yay. Just got the ball.
And taking somebody else like Markelle Fultz or Alonzo Ball. The situation would definitely be different, but there are some parallels there that we could draw, and those picks would definitely be
man, the Celtics season then are about to be tragic.
valuable.
You all know Zipcar, right?
Oh my God, I gotta depend on
Cover your first month of membership and gas on every trip.
Jaylen Brown.
It's
He
so
cold
easy
and
to
all,
just
bro.
book a car and
He was always more so the second
that is
option too.
able to successfully gut the Warriors of their young talent. Now, while that offer is interesting to say the least, I still don't see it being anywhere near what the Bucks would get back if they were to actually trade Giannis. If this report is true, then the Bucks aren't in the business of doing Giannis any favors at all. According to this report, the Bucks want the framework for a potential Giannis trade to be so ugly that Giannis might not be in a better situation if a trade were to go down. What this report is saying is that they basically want to give Giannis no other choice but to stay. And at this juncture, I'm not exactly sure how that's a win for either side. And also, there are teams out there who can make ridiculous Giannis offers and remain very competitive. Look at OKC, look at San Antonio, and look at the freaking Rockets, who we were just talking about. Look, no matter what's said behind closed doors or leaked through reports, if the Bucks insist on holding on to Giannis, they're just delaying the inevitable. It's Damian Lillard in Portland all over again. A star who's determined to stay loyal.
Damn, bro, he did all that time in Portland just to go to Giannis. Well, he didn't want to come to the Bucks. So Giannis, fuck him. No bullshit.
Committed to repaying that loyalty, but eventually everyone's losing. The player ends up frustrated, stuck playing games that mean absolutely nothing, and the team, they're just wasting precious years that could have been spent rebuilding instead of chasing pointless trips to the play-in tournament. Maybe you could talk me into something like this being potentially interesting if Giannis and Dame were younger, and the Bucks had a wildcard prospect like AJ Johnson who had a crazy high ceiling. But they freaking gave that man away to the Wizards in that Kyle Kuzma trade. And Giannis and Dame are both over 30. That Kyle Kuzma trade was such a bad one. We're going to have to cover that whole ordeal in another video too. Anyways, guys, there's some more going on in the basketball world that we have to be covering. So clicking one of the videos that's on the screen right now.
Bro, what was the point of picking up motherfucking, what's his name? Kyle Kuzma, bro. We could have kept Chris Middleton with his injury. That injuries are not funny. They're not funny, but nah. But nah, let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Will Giannis stay home? Will he leave? If y'all think he gonna leave, where would he go? I think he's gonna leave and go to the Warriors, me personally. That's gonna be a scary That's gonna be a scary duo, bro. Y'all thought Dame Giannis was gonna be scary. Curry don't miss. Giannis can't stop. Bro, it's inevitable. But no, I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.